An ugly, poor, and overweight loner wakes up one day and finds himself in the body of another man. He sees that he's become tall, handsome, and has the perfect body. The story begins with a boy named Hyun-suk getting bullied at school. He acts like a dog, but still gets beaten up. Back at home, he tells his mother he wants to transfer to another school and ends up taking out his frustration on her. The next day at gym class, Hyun-suk continues to get bullied, and he starts getting slapped around by one of the guys. His mother suddenly appears and stands up to the boy, but this only embarrasses him. Back at home, his mother tells him she was at the school to discuss transfer options. She tells him he can transfer to a school in Seoul, but he will need to live on his own because she can't leave her job. Hyun-suk moves to the slums in Seoul. His place is small, but he is glad to have a fresh start. In the city, Hyun-suk bumps into a girl and is surprised when she actually apologizes to him. He decides to try and be a different person, but ends up creeping the girl out. The girl's boyfriend shows up and doesn't like the way Hyun-suk was looking at his girl. The man ends up beating him up, and everyone records him getting beaten. It gets posted online, and Hyun-suk cries as he reads the mean comments about him. He cries himself to sleep, but when he wakes up, he is surprised to see his new body. He sees himself on the ground, and tries to wake himself up. He wakes back up in his body and figures it was all a dream, but then he sees the other body lying next to him. He ends up figuring out that every time he sleeps, he switches between the bodies. Hyun-suk starts at his new school in the fashion design class, and all the girls are amazed by his good looks. When he takes his seat, he finds he is next to the guy that beat him up, and his girlfriend is also in his class. Luckily, the guy doesn't recognize him and introduces himself as Jin. Hyun-suk gets approached by a girl named Hannah, and she flirts with him. Jin calls her out, but sees that his girlfriend is also interested in him. He gets fired up, but the teacher continues on with the class. Later at lunch, everyone stares at him, and Hannah introduces the different groups of students. She asks him why he chose to join the fashion design class, and we find out that with his poor academics, fashion design was the only thing he could transfer to. Back in class, he gets sleepy because he spent all the previous day testing out his new body. He ends up falling asleep and waking up in his body back at home. He realizes what happened and tries to fall back asleep. He manages to switch back when Hannah wakes him up at the end of class. Hyun-suk gets a job at the convenience store to work nights, but we see he came in his other body to ask about the job. The owner is keen to hire him, but he ends up saying it's for his friend. The owner tries to change his mind when he sees his other form, but Hyun-suk impresses him with his knowledge of all the cigarette brands from his experience as an errand boy. Hyun-suk starts working, and some guys come in to buy cigarettes, but he recognizes them from his class, so he asks them for ID, and ends up turning them down. Jin joins them, and realizes his name is also Hyun-suk. He takes out his anger on him, and beats him up again. They end up taking a nude photo of him, so he doesn't go to the cops. The next day at school, Jin and his boys laugh about beating him up the previous night. Hyun-suk tells them off, and Jin prepares to fight him, but gets stopped by another student named Jae. Jin gets free, and continues to attack. Hyun-suk has been beaten so much in the past, he can read the punches, and now that he has a body that can react, he easily dodges. Everyone is shocked Jin's punch missed. Jin continues to swing, but Hyun-suk beats him with a single punch to the stomach.